Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight we kick off our newest Rocket League Summer Rumble, and we'll be having players return from our Summer Invitational, as well as some new faces on new teams. It should be a ton of fun, and these teams are ready to battle it out for that top spot title. I'm your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk is Joe Tacky Chick Brow. All right, so pressure's kind of relaxed a little bit because you're starting brand new, but if you're starting with a fresh slate, what would be your advice for these players going into a whole new bracket?
I think, well, we've always said a million times, you should act like every game is kind of somewhat of a fresh slate. It depends a little bit on the series, but obviously not. But I think going into a brand new kind of everyone's 0-0, we're going back to a reset situation. I think what you have to focus on the most is a learning mentality above all else. At this point, you have literally all of your possible lives left. You have plenty of time to get better and work on things. So come into it with a learning mindset, do your best, and if it doesn't work out, not the end of the world.
I feel like we're a little bit of a broken record in that regard. But, you know, if some of these faces are going to be new, and that's probably going to be coming in the form of the squad for the Hammerheads. We've not seen a Hammerhead squad in a very long time for this evening. And then we're going to have the Barracudas, the Wolves, the Lynx, and the Mammoths, also a squad that's been a very long time since we've seen them. Best of luck to all of these teams that are going to be competing tonight. Really looking forward to seeing how these rosters are stacking up against one another. Maybe tonight we'll finally see Thrift and Wilds broken up. Do you think we'll see that?
I don't know. They feel pretty inseparable the amount of times I had to cast them together on the same team, but who knows, really. I'm excited to see what these rosters look like, if there were any changes at all, or if we had completely just like dice roll bingo style new teams.
It would be interesting if that was the case. Perhaps someone on Twitch can let us know. But the bracket shook out like this. The only team that actually had to compete, well, two teams, were the Barracudas and the Wolves. Ultimately, the Wolves will be knocked down into our lower bracket, but that's the best thing about having a lower bracket. Our redemption shot means you get a second chance, but the Wolves now lose that safety net going forward. There's no more room for mistakes. Everyone else got a bye. Barracudas maintain a 1-0 scoreline currently. But before we even get into our games, we want to give a quick reminder to all of our viewers here on Twitch about supporting your teams, celebrate their successes, and be respectful to the other fans. Mods will remove anyone who violate these chat rules. Just, you know, at the end of the day, you never know who's watching. That stuff doesn't go away either. Be respectful, be kind. We're all just human beings here at the end of the day. And, you know, we have advice, but it's not our advice.
No.
But we can give anecdotal advice to this advice.
For sure.
Doc, of course we have to rely on you for these important moments of advice. And those important forms of advice come in Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, which are create the mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game are presented today by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
Definitely some key advice there from Doc's keys of the game, not to, you know, beat a dead horse on that one, but it's something you got to look out for is those demos that he highlighted. These players we've seen are really into that demo play style. The Esports Tower teams have picked it up in the last week.
Definitely Cran can be one of them. Just a note to anyone that's watching, the Lynx are actually on the left and the Hammerheads are on the right. So our Lynx roster is going to have Protato, YY, so a new face, and Cran, whereas our Hammerheads roster will have Toge picking up the mantle as the lead, as well as Cameron and one other. I apologize, I could not see your name and read it before we swapped over. I will definitely give you a shout out at the very start of this game. And we're jumping into this bracket, as we mentioned, in progress, because the Barracudas already faced off against the Wolves. Best of luck to both these teams. Let's see what you got, because having new people can mean that things are going to be a little bit different. Definitely going to be watching rotations to see if the communication's been honed in already very early on. And that other roster is going to be essentially Boss, Cameron, and Toke. So Toke probably operating as that end-game lead. It's definitely going to be a moment for Toke to demonstrate what they've learned here in Esports Tower. Kickoff initially sent the volley to the Hammerheads back third, immediately volleyed into the back corner in Lynx territory.
Okay, looking for a way out. Maybe looks for the path to Cameron here, but YY is in the way. Cameron passes it off the sidewall. Cran will steal it away and keep pressure for himself a little longer. Rolls out to the corner. YY leads. Potato takes the shot towards the top of the net and does not quite find it, so Toke will hit away. And we will move back to a battle in midfield. not quite going either team's direction this early on.
Cran's gonna push the ball forward into the corner, bring it up just above the wall to get it past Toke. Cameron, though, makes a great save. There wasn't a follow-up, unfortunately, for Toke's shot. Oh, well, for the shot on goal from the Hammerheads there. YY sends the ball to the mid, losing a lot of momentum. Toke pushes it forward, shot on goal. Popped up by Cran, pushed to midfield, stripe by YY. They just have to get it past essentially Boss, but Boss is going to beat them to that ball. Bring it to the mid, Cran pops it up, ricochets off the ceiling. Protato's there to dunk it in, but a double commit by the defenders goes unpunished. Cran's secondary attempt, unfortunately, will hit the crossbar.
YY looking for a play down to Cran. He does find it, but is cut off by Link's defense. Potato buying a little bit of time for his team, taps it to himself off the wall around Toke, gets one more touch here, spills it out to the corner and gets past one more. Cameron's not able to make contact. An opportunity here, barely lost for the Hammerheads on a 50-50, and then it's a reset. Pass from YY to Cran. He'll take the shot, and it's a roller, but it will find a chink in the armor and catch the Lynx defense flat-footed, putting them in a firm 1-0 lead coming into the 3 minutes left in this game.
That ball spent a lot of time in the Lynx back half of the field. 3 shots on goal from Grand, finally finding one for themselves. 3 minutes, 14 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time to close that 1-goal gap. Hammerheads, though, looking to put the nail in the coffin early by getting goal number 2. Cran does some beautiful dribbling past one, but Cran will be stopped by Cameron. YY goes for the challenge. Elevation from essentially Boss. Shot on goal is wide, and Cran has already raced back to back post and brought the ball into Lynx territory yet again.
Potato looks for the shot, blocked by Cameron. Might be a breakaway, but no, YY is there and ready. Plays it off to the corner, bounces it off Cameron to push into the midfield, and Cran will be able to clean it up and get pressure. Cameron with the bang all the way downfield over to his teammate, essentially Boss. Looks for the pass, but Potato will cut it off, pushing it towards the corner. Toke takes control. YY with the clear. Cameron's up to block. A double commit from the Hammerheads. Potato's all on his own for a second. Does get past one, however, but loses possession of the ball. Boss and Potato colliding for a second, but the battle at midfield will begin as both teams reset for offensive pressure.
Cran takes a shot, blocked by essentially Boss, who's just going to bring it upfield themselves, but unfortunately there's no one in front, allowing YY to easily cut in, get a touch on it. No pressure being put on YY either. Cameron going to go for the challenge, forcing out one of our Hammerhead players to assist as well. Cran now crossing midfield stripe. Toke pops the ball up. Potato goes and elevates, sending the ball to the side, gets the second touch as well. Essentially Boss now pushing forward, preventing the ball from rolling into Lynx territory.
Slow roller mid, YY for the 50-50 does beat Cameron, remains in control. Potato and YY, a little bit of miscommunication, almost find the back of the net, but just cut themselves off barely. Cameron beat on the 50-50, it'll spill out towards essentially Boss, hits it towards the wall. Potato goes for the 50-50, wins out in the corner, may look for the pass here, but does cut off just barely by Link's defense. YY, pass Potato, back into the corner. Now essentially Boss looks for the clear, and Cran will be in the way.
Cran looked to dunk it down. It was popped up by Toke, who gets it past YY as well. Potato's already rotated in defensive position, goes for the challenge against Cameron, and Cameron will lose possession, but the opportunity is not gone yet for the Lynx. We are almost down to our last minute here in game number 1, and we have a 1-0 scoreline. Lynx desperately looking for an opportunity to find 1 goal and put us at tied 1 aside. Another awkward miscommunication there for the Hammerheads results in loss of possession. Double commit from defenders will go unpunished due to that mistake from the Hammerheads. Cran, though, fancy aerial work, carries the ball in, and that's goal number 2 for the Hammerheads, most likely the nail in the coffin.
A filthy air dribble off the wall, and the Hammerheads will now have that security lead coming into less than a minute left in the game. Almost an opportunity for the Lynx, but barely cut off at the last minute by the Hammerheads. Playing it off the corner, Cran is able to get it out, but Cameron keeps the pass going, taps it out mid. No one is there, and Cran will barely hit it out at the last moment. Potato pushing downfield now, past one. Boss challenging him on the wall, but doesn't make contact. Potato will push into the corner, but will stop there as Cameron finds a way out of his own end. Oh, an opportunity, breakaway opportunity here. No contact from Hammerhead midfielder, and that will lead to an opportunity for the Lynx to finally get their first goal of the series. They have 18 seconds to score 1. That's more than enough time.
It's not impossible, but it's very difficult with how the pacing of this game has gone thus far. As far with regards to the goals, YY's going to have the ball take an awkward bounce off the ceiling. Potato will cut in, played around Toke. 5 seconds left in this round. I do believe that's going to be it. GG go next for the Lynx. Ball hits the ground. Game is over. Match 1 goes in favor of the Hammerheads.
Yeah, that was a really slow-paced game. It didn't feel like there was no offense necessarily, but it felt like it was a little bit more methodical than we've seen, maybe even in the last week where we saw a lot of offense, a lot of demos, a lot of just like general craziness and overcommitting. But overall, I think it was a pretty clean Rocket League. It was impressive to watch, and I'm curious about if we're going to see YY develop as more of a defensive player or more of a midfielder offensive player, and what kind of style he's going to fit into with these players that have already been established in the esports tower scene.
I have very similar questions, and I'm very happy, honestly, that we didn't see a lot of breakdowns of communication. There were 2 times, I believe, that we actually called it out in regards to the Hammerheads, where they kind of unfortunately went for a ball where their other teammate already had possession of it, and that just comes down to making sure that you are keeping those comm lines open and trying to not be greedy. As far as rotations, though, there wasn't a lot of times where we saw open goal opportunities. There was one great breakaway there by the Lynx, but beyond that, some pretty gosh darn clean Rocket League was just done for some brand new esports tower players.
Yeah, I have to agree there, and even that breakaway goal for the Lynx wasn't necessarily a bad rotation from the Hammerheads. They just barely didn't make contact. It's a mechanical mistake, so it was still clean regardless of that situation all around, and all the goals with the Hammerheads were well fought for, to say the least. And we're going to see if that remains true in the first minute of this game.
I want to see a goal scored in the first minute this time as opposed to taking 2 minutes and 45 seconds to be scored. But, you know, that's just me making a request, and typically my requests go onto deaf ears, and I'm fine with that. We have Toke, though, trying to play it past Fran. Cameron will come in to help out. Protato's going to dunk the ball down away from them at the midfield. Essentially, Boss pushes it across midfield stripe. No one's home, though, for the Lynx, and YY easily pushing forward with possessions. Get played off the back wall. The standard secondary touch lineup being there. There was a demo onto essentially Boss, but the goal could not be scored in time.
Fran plays it towards the corner, buys a little bit of time. Cameron will take possession, push it out. Fran actually helps him a little bit with that endeavor and pushes it into his own corner, maybe trying to loop all the way around. His own teammate bumps him, and it will roll across the net twice, but no opportunity for the Lynx. No one is there to shoot it. No one expected to play. The reset is just enough time for the Hammerheads, and Fran will air dribble it out. He's able to get past one and past Toke. It's going to, oh, it almost rolls all the way in. Oh, and the 50-50 is not good from the Lynx. It'll go in, and the Hammerheads will establish a lead once more going into game 2.
I'm just very, like, this is one of those moments where I'm glad and not glad at the same time to not have replays, because I really wanted to see how that ball rolled into the goal. It really looks like the game wasn't going to count it as fully crossing that line, but it did. Now let's see if the Lynx are able to bring this one back in their favor faster than in the last 20 seconds of the round, so that there is an opportunity to equalize it or bring us into overtime. Fran's going to go for the challenge at the mid. Ball dunks down to Protato off the ceiling, pops it up over Cameron. Essentially, Boss will cut in, steal possession away. Cran immediately returning the favor. Toke, though, beautiful touch on the ball, almost rolling into the net. Cameron can't be there for the fall, unfortunately. Oh, no.
A little bit of offsides from both teams there. They have to both rotate around the midfield just to get in charge of the play again. 50-50 from YY will go out mid. It's just way too high, way too sharp an angle to shoot. Potato takes a weird shot from the corner, almost finds it, but YY will pop it up and keep the play alive a little longer. Potato and YY kind of on top of each other, and a breakaway will lead to the goal for the Lynx. We're at a 1-1 scoreline halfway through the game-ish. And that overtime opportunity is definitely looking good right now.
The story of this game is going a little bit differently, not in regards to the goals, but in regards to the mechanics that we're seeing from these players. I'm seeing a lot more hesitation coming out from the Lynx here, bunching up in the goal quite frequently in the defensive half of the field. They did get a fantastic breakaway play that was somewhat equated to luck, but then the Hammerheads also overcommitting and being greedy on their own goal-scoring opportunities early on. Make sure, hopefully they clean those up and start communicating a little bit better before the end of this round. They have 2 minutes to fix things, but we are at the It's Complicated 0-0 scoreline.
Boss taps it towards the back wall, taps it again, it's out mid. Potato barely gets it out. A double commit from the Lynx. This could be an opportunity for YY, but no, he just taps it down and will be blocked by the Lynx at the midfield. Fran is still in control of the play. He takes the pass towards the back wall, but Cameron will say no thank you and push it downfield. YY having to fall back, get in the way of Toke, but doesn't make contact. Potato barely does. And now the Hammerheads are pushing back upfield, finding an offensive opportunity, maybe a pass over, but no pass, no good. Potato kind of all over his team again there. And the opportunity is barely not going to be made. We do so for the Lynx.
That last play made by the Hammerheads definitely looked like had Potato done with a give and go as opposed to just trying to take the shot themselves. Would have been much better, but Say La Vie, you have to keep going. We're still tied one aside. Toke at the mid is going to send the ball over to essentially Boss. YY looking to rotate into that corner post position to elevate Potato and Cran. So another breakdown in communication right there from the Hammerheads. Not going to be punished though. They did get a great clear, but it's thwarted immediately. YY goes for the challenge yet again. Potato playing it off the wall to get it past Cameron. Can't do so. Toke in a beautiful cherry picking position. Not going to be able to capitalize on it because the ball was way too high.
Cran pushing downfield, only opposed by Cameron, who does get it past him, plays it to his own corner. Cameron now has to get over Potato, and he does. Maybe a demo. No, he just takes the shot. YY is left standing in awe. Toke takes whatever shot he wants, but it will be blocked by a double commit from the Hammerhead. And now, pass out mid, over to YY, blocked by Cameron. Potato looks for the pass too, but does get a pinch and will go out mid. Toke takes his own shot. Potato deflects it into the corner. So much give and go from the high end of the field, the upper 90. Boss will look for a pass, but will just be confused by YY, who takes it towards the wall.
Essentially, Boss is going to demo Potato and push forward. Cran, though, is going to try and follow up their teammates' presence in that midfield area. Can't quite pull it off on their own. YY pushing forward. Ball gets popped up into the corner. Potato looking for an opportunity to help their teammate out. Will cut in finally. Goes for the play off the wall. Whips it. Cran goes for the shot on goal. Collides with Toke in mid-flight. And Cameron's going to find the clear to the midfield.
Cameron, high shot. Blocked by Potato, taking it down to his corner, working together with Cran to get it out. Cameron puts it down. We will head to an overtime at a 1-1 scoreline. We've only seen 5 goals scored in these 2 games. That feels pretty low for most Esports Tower games, but the defense has been pretty good all around.
Definitely slower pace Esports Tower Rocket League play than we're used to, but that's totally fine. It's still good soccer to have a low-scoring game. However, now is the most anxiety-inducing situation of any Rocket League player's life, and that is golden goal victory. Whomever finds the back of the net first will walk away with game 2 win. If it's going to be the Lynx who do it, will be tied and got brought to a best-of-3 series. If the Hammerheads do it, they're going to put themselves at series point, being up by 2 as far as the map differential goes.
Boss looking for the pass back to Cameron. Doesn't get that great of a bounce. Has to leave it for Potato. 50-50 will spill out mid. Not really in favor of anyone, but Cran is able to get possession first. Goes for the air dribble, pass 1, pass 2, only has 1 more to get by, but he's got nothing left in the take, so Cameron will deflect. YY looks for the pass from the ceiling, doesn't really make positive contact, and will spill out. Cran has to slow down the play a little longer to get time for his team as he plays it into the corner.
YY plays it around 1, gets a beamer of a shot towards the goal. Toke easily pushing it to one side though, as it was on the ground. Potato goes for another shot. It's going to be in the air, too high, hitting that crossbar. The 4th man ever so steadfast for the Lynx. Demo onto essentially Boss. Might give the Hammerheads the opportunity they were looking for, but the chance is too little too late as the respawn's already occurred.
Cran gets the pass mid, but nobody quite ready for it. A clear out from the Lynx will defuse the situation entirely. YY misses it on the wall. Potato has to go for it backwards. Cran respawns right in front of him. Loses all his momentum for that play, but does find a way out as he passes it back to Toke in the midfield. Doesn't get that great of a touch. Gets another touch. No one in the way yet. YY will tap it towards the wall. Potato will pinch it into his own corner. Now Boss has to recreate the play entirely, but Potato is willing to find a way out. He gets the double touch off the wall. Pass 1, pass 2, and flicks it towards the backboard. Maybe an opportunity for the Hammerheads.
Cameron does some fantastic dribbling with the ball, collides into YY, sending them to the respawn screen. Ball in the back third of Hammerhead territory. YY off respawn though, looks for Potato. Unfortunately, it looks like a weird miscommunication there. We have Taki throwing his hands up on the desk, wondering what just happened. We'll lose out the opportunity there for the Hammerheads.
Potato bodies it past 1, but Boss does take him off of it. Toke looks for the air dribble, maybe for a solo play here. Does get past 1, but Cran barely gets the tap into the corner. YY does barely miss tops, or hits off the top of the crossbar just barely. Cran playing it slow. Oh, is whiffed out a little bit by a touch from Potato. This is not good. Toke has an opportunity here to pass it mid. No one in the way quite yet, but does get beat out by Potato. He looks for a pass to Cran. Goes for the 50-50, it's past 1. Essentially, Boss is in the way, gets it off the wall, doesn't make contact again. Now YY gets the go for a big clear. Cran going for the redirect, but does not quite make contact. The play will reset in the midfield now.
Cameron bringing the ball out of that ceiling corner area. YY challenges off the ground, pops it up for Cran, gets it up higher, looking for a dunk down opportunity for YY, and it's perfect. 3 minutes and 10 seconds into overtime. Hammerheads finally find that golden goal for themselves. And I guess we are actually running a best of 3.
All right. Well, the Hammerheads will walk away with that one. It was really close, though. I believe it was a 2-1 scoreline both times. And YY in that last game.
It is best of 5. I am not cuckoo. All right, so with that being said, I will be totally honest. There were a lot of times where I saw Cran and Protato. It seemed like they were both trying to be in control of the play and not working together enough. And I think that might be a side effect of the new roster. But what's interesting is that in the rosters we've seen them in, yes, Protato typically is kind of our facilitator, but does play more defensively. Cran typically is our midfield controller as well. So honestly, their communication, despite being on new rosters and not having always played together, it should still be there, and YY seems to just be trying to fill in as much as they can, where they can, without getting overly greedy. There were multiple occasions between Protato and Cran that we saw there was a give-and-go opportunity or a chance where their shot on goal was not as good as someone else's had they just passed, and instead they got greedy. They took the shot on their own. They didn't help facilitate the 2 other people on the field with them, and I feel like that's what made that game so close.
Yeah, I think I have to agree there. I don't know if the offense was necessarily as, like, not present as the scoreline might give you the idea of. It's interesting you say Protato and Cran, because between this game and the first game, I thought I saw a lot of Protato and YY in their way as well. And I think what might be happening is that it's possible YY brings a playstyle to the table that they already kind of accounted for in something like similar to Protato or Cran or whatever. Or maybe Protato's just kind of looking for a new playstyle, a new aggression to get going with, and they're just kind of figuring out the kinks right now. And I'm not necessarily against it. I'm not necessarily against the communication issues and the playstyle differences quite yet, because this early in the season, like I said, it's okay to make mistakes. You have plenty of lives left. A goal for Protato here will put the Hammerheads ahead again. First goal, I believe, in the first minute out of any of these games so far, and Hammerheads are willing to sweep here, but they're going to have a scary scoreline to have to get ahead of if this game is anything like the last 2.
Early goals can be fantastic, but they can also be easily turned back over in favor of the other team. The Lynx just need to start noticing the issues that we have already called out here on Desk with regards to the Hammerhead playstyle, creating some pressure onto people that are easily panicked in those situations. But Cran seems to have changed their playstyle quite a bit here and pushed the ball immediately forward and looking for opportunities to play with YY in the back corner.
YY, flick over one, takes it towards the sidewall, maybe looks for a pass to Cran. He does get the give and go to Cran. Cran is not able to shoot, however, pushes it to the corner. Potato looking for the shot. The pass from the Lynx to the mid-man will now push it downfield. YY looking for a slow play in the corner. Gets past one, but Boss is in the way. The 50-50 from Cran will go straight to the ceiling. Waterfall down to YY. Looks for the play around one, gets the fake, but does not have enough left in the take to get past the second one. Potato up with the shot off the sidewall, and he will get it. Hammerheads pushing their lead even further. Protato's second goal in this game.
2-goal lead, minute, we'll say 30 seconds. So that gives, well, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, roughly a minute, 15 seconds per goal if the Lynx are looking to equalize. But that means their defense needs to get cleaned up a little bit here. But Cameron's looking to just take defense out of the equation, pushing the ball to midfield. But essentially Boss, and I do believe there was another demo on possibly Protato, both got taken out, forcing a basic play reset. YY goes for play off the wall for Cran to get the touch into the goal, but it's thwarted immediately by Cameron. Ball at the midfield. Cran, it looks like they're trying to get a touch on it. They whiff on that, though. Toge rotating into defense position. Shot on goal, not even accredited.
Cameron playing it downfield. YY with the bang towards the corner. Boss not able to make contact, but does leave it for a teammate. The Lynx are out momentarily. YY plays it slow back to himself, maybe to Potato. No, Boss will cut out in the way. Bump is on teammates. The offense completely dies for a second here as Potato gets some time to hit it out, but he does not get solid contact, and now they have to battle for their own defensive end a little bit longer.
We see a demo onto essentially Boss. Ball is in Hammerhead territory. It's a, ooh, I was gonna say it's a 2-on-3, but we saw another demo onto Cameron. Essentially Boss with a respawn trying to stop ball from crossing midfield stripe. Will lose possession. Cran comes in, challenged by Cameron. Ball gets popped up. Attempt to corral it in front of the goal by Toge, doing a risky play, goes unpunished. Ball gets popped high, and Cameron will find the clear.
Cran pass off the back wall to a teammate. He does make contact, but it is barely pushed out. Cran with another pass off the back wall. Oh, and a little bit of a pinball save from the Lynx will barely push it out. Potato trying to keep pressure a little longer. We'll still have to Cran, but Toke and YY will be in the way instead. They'll make sure to play the live a little longer. The ceiling touch from YY is not good, so Potato will have to cut in. Oh, and a bump from Cran onto Potato there. A little bit of a friendly fire, not able to make anything of it for the Lynx, however, as they look for the backward pass and almost a double touch aerial, almost extending to a 3-0 lead in favor of Hammerheads.
Potato, though, and YY both rotated back into defensive positioning. We have essentially Boss try to get it past him with the ball from Cameron. YY goes for the challenge, dunks it down. It's going to be allowing Potato to go forward with possession. Challenge by Toke. Ball is still in Hammerhead territory. We are past the 90 seconds left mark, though, and Lynx still need 2 goals to tie this up in their favor. As I said, Hammerheads are currently at series point with 2 game victories behind them already.
YY, big clear down the Potato, gets the doink, and it will go the full length of the field. We have not seen like a proper doink in Rocket League in so long. It used to be kind of a textbook flashy play in the original seasons of Rocket League, but that was a classic to say the least.
And then you get just the puff of smoke goal animation from Potato to act like it's no big deal. And immediately Potato finds another one. That is a 4-goal lead now for the Hammerheads. I honestly think this is a GG go next for the Lynx. Yes, it's going to drop them down to our redemption second place bracket, but that is okay. As we said at the start of the broadcast, you know, it's got to be a lot of learning, and this one was just a happenstance that the Lynx are going to have to close a 3-goal lead now. It's doable, not impossible. We've seen 4 goals in 40 seconds here for Esports Tower, but they really got to play this kickoff perfectly.
That offensive play style seems to be working this time for Potato, as all 4 of the goals are to his name right now for his team. Of course, thanks to his team as well. Might be looking for a 5th here. He does not quite steal it away from his teammate, and now YY would get, I believe, his 3rd goal since we've seen him in Esports Tower.
I think that was one of the most perfect give and go style plays you could ask for, which is the, if you need to touch it to make sure it goes in, you can, but it might go in on its own because there was no one home for the Lynx. And with 27 seconds left, I do believe that no matter what happens, Hammerheads are going to walk away with a victory. We have the ball inside Hammerhead territory, though. Lynx have a chance just to get one more goal here to make that loss just a little bit less painful. But a shot on goal from Karan is going to result in their scoreline going up to 6.
Yeah, and if you're the Lynx right now, you're absolutely no worries. First series of this, what do you call it, split?
Yeah.
Yeah, first series of this split. You know, it's not the end of the world. You have a lot to go over in the VOD, so it's, you know, you take what you can get. But right now, it kind of feels like the kinks that we were seeing in the Hammerheads in the first 2 games are getting slowly worked out. There's a little bit less bumping, still there, but the communication's getting a little better, and the coordination especially is getting a lot better too.
And ball will hit the ground. We'll close out with a 7-0 scoreline in favor. 7-1 scoreline. My apologies, Lynx. You guys did definitely demonstrate that you're here and you are doing the best you possibly can for your first game and can only go up from there. With that being said, congratulations, Hammerheads. Y'all walk away with your first round victory, and we'll still keep a safety net in your favor going forward. And, you know, we definitely saw from that second game to the third game that going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. And you can definitely see how far these players go just from one match to the next due to the coaches being able to talk to them. And it gets even better with VOD review and practices. Esports Tower really takes the time to create well-matched teams. I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Jake. And if you're watching and haven't checked out the Esports Tower clubs, you definitely should. It's the fast track to help you rank up. With the Hammerheads taking down the Lynx, they will move on into the winners finals and face on the Barracudas. I'm going to ask you, I feel like I stopped doing this for a while. Do you have any predictions? Any thoughts for these players? I
don't really know what the Barracudas roster looks like, so it's hard to make a prediction right now. If it is the Barracudas that we saw from last split, what we saw last week especially, I'm going to probably put my money on the Barracudas just because right now what the Hammerheads have is good, but it just needs a little bit more time to kind of get rounded off and have clean
If it were to be the most terrifying roster in Esports Tower, which I think would be Quez, Thrift, and Wilds, I feel like I would cry. But I really hope that that's not the case, and I hope it's a brand new roster. And Quez, I'm not saying I don't appreciate nor like you as a player, but it would be very interesting to see a Barracuda's roster without you on it. It's been a very long time since we've seen that. But with that being said, we're only making speculations and guesses here on Desk, and we actually are going to take a quick break before we jump into our next match. So be right back here in a few minutes, and we will join you then for some more Rocket League.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Broadcast the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting in from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're about to hop down to our lower bracket where the Wolves and the Lynx are trying to stay alive and face off in the lower quarterfinals. I'm your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk still is Joe Tacky Chigbrow. All right, so we saw the Lynx, but we haven't seen the Wolves.
Yeah.
I genuinely have no idea what to expect as far as that roster goes. But just based off of what we saw earlier and what led to the Lynx being dropped down, do you think that this is going to be a roster made up of 3 veterans or 3 new faces or a 2-in-1 mixture going either way? You got 3 options.
If I was a betting man, I would say kind of a mixture of the last option. Because, you know, this tends to be how these esports tower things work, is they kind of mix in some. Even we saw that with the what was the last team? The Hammerheads. We saw those Hammerheads. We had some older players who've been here for a while, like Protato, some classic names, and with some new players like YY. I assume it's a new player, not just a player under a different title.
Please tell me that it is a new player, not someone changing your name.
I hope it's a new player. I hope it's a new player. I love seeing new faces in esports tower. It's always so exciting. But yeah, if I'm a betting man, I'm saying the Wolves is probably a mix. So I'm excited to see where it's ended up. Without a whole lot of knowledge of who's where, it's hard to say right now.
And we can take a quick look back at our bracket and how everything shook out to lead us to where we are about to go. You can see Barracudas and the Wolves were the first ones to go against one another. Barracudas knocked the Wolves down to our second chance redemption bracket. Hammerheads versus the Lynx. Lynx got dropped down as well. Mammoths did face off against the Barracudas. The Barracudas were the ones to be victorious. So that means Mammoths will get a bye in our lower bracket and get to take a quick breather before they have to fight for their survival here to go to the grand finals. It's all going to be up to who comes out on top between the Wolves and the Lynx about who goes against the Mammoths. But before we get to that, we have some really exciting stuff to talk about. We want to take a moment to congratulate all of our Esports Tower Club members who graduated from the clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received 3.6. Holy cow, that number has increased dramatically. $1 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, driven. We could not be more proud and excited to see all the opportunities these players are getting. If in the future we get the opportunity to cast you playing against the Broncos, or one of us here on desk is casting you at a completely different event, give us a shout. We'd love to see your story unfold and all the places you're going to be able to end up going. If you change your name, yeah, just let us know. Let us know if you change your name in the future. But with that being said, congratulations to every one of you. You definitely deserve that. And, you know, these players, they kind of followed some important advice, definitely coming from Coach Jake, but also Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League that are presented today by esportstower.com. Those keys to the game are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Before we close out the keys, I'm going to give you one opportunity to provide one extra key to the game.
My key to the game is on the same lines as punish overcommits. Make sure that you've got a guy covering you at the midfield. You have to have a guy covering you at the midfield.
Midfield control. All right. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Definitely check out esportstower.com if you're interested. Wolves take on the Lynx. Wolves, I'm excited to see some fresh faces. I'm hoping to see 2 fresh faces and 1 veteran. That's what I'm hoping for, because I think that would balance out very equally with the Lynx current roster being 2 freshies and our veteran of Toke. But if it's not the case, that's all right too. I'm just excited to see these new rosters.
Definitely have to agree there. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a whole new roster for the Wolves. It does look like we're in a 2v2 currently. So
yes.
For the Wolves, we have Drippin' Sauce on. I don't think we've ever cast someone at that before. And we have State, who I do recognize many times. State is definitely not someone to laugh at. We'll have to see how he kind of collides with Drippin' Sauce Dawn here.
I love State's car matching our map and also having those wings. Definitely something I enjoy seeing. But the 2 players that are coming out for the Lynx, so we've had like completely new rosters, so to speak, showing that we actually have increased the depth of the rosters the Esports Tower teams have, as opposed to just being 3 players. They have 4 players, and so that is why we're able to do a 2v2, which is very interesting. 2v2's dynamics is a little bit different. This is not something I'm super familiar with, but I would understand the core mechanics are probably still pretty similar.
2v2 at the highest level is a lot of the time played like several 1v1s going on at once, because if you commit too many people to a play and it doesn't go perfectly, oftentimes it will result in a goal because there is no third man. A play like that is a perfect example. Moving up and relying too much on the pass will get you punished if it doesn't go perfectly, and the Lynx will pull ahead in the first minute exactly.
And this, kids and viewers, is why I'm only going to play 3v3 Rocket League. I have never touched 2v2. This is very anxiety-inducing. There's very little room for mistakes, but Rice is looking like they're going to try and drag the ball into the net. Unfortunately, they're met on the ground by Dr. Drippin' Sauce Done. Is that how we decided to pronounce that one?
I think I'm just going to cast it as Drippin', because if I have to say it fast, I have to pick one of those 3
Drippin'
words.
it is.
How do we say this one?
I said Rice.
Rice? Okay.
I'm going with Rice.
Rice. Rice and KSG. KSG is trying to push off a wall, but is not able to make contact quite yet. So Drippin' is able to just find the back of the net. This is exactly what I talked about. One little mistake is all it takes half the time. If you've only committed, or if you've committed your whole team to a play, you have to be pretty careful. You have to play it like a bunch of staggered 1v1s. Otherwise, you're going to get punished.
We've got KSG trying to corral the ball. Pops it up. State will elevate, push it forward to Drip. Drip's got to get it past both defenders, though. That's an interesting choice to double commit on a defensive play, but it might be normal. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. We have State elevating now, looking for an opportunity thwarted by KSG, but the follow-up from Drip, absolutely perfect.
Not quite able to make the clear happen. Looks like we're having maybe some player switching. Looks like we have, okay, it looks like I just ate you is what he's going for there.
All right.
So, oh, wow, what a shot from State. We'll find the back of the net. A little bit of a redirect from the corner there. Upper 90 shot. Kickoff now in favor of Drippin. State did cheat up, so he is able to take the shot early. Rice gets the clear back to himself. I just ate you is still pushing up. Drippin. I don't know what else to call that. I got it.
I just ate is what I'm going to stick with.
You're going to stick with that? Okay.
I won't be able to keep a straight face otherwise.
I can't really keep a straight face with half the names here. Oh, and a double commit. But it's all I need, really. The goal is open, so now the Lynx will have 2 goals to the Wolves 3. This has been quite the game to cast so far.
This is so, you know, if there isn't ever a chance to go for a cheeky kickoff goal, I feel like 2v2 is the time to do it, so State, props to you.
State is up, looking for a solo play, does not make quality contacts. The ball will spill out to the Lynx. Oh, Drippin actually goes for it. That was a very high-risk play. It works out, but if that 50-50 didn't go in favor, there's literally no one back. Drippin wins another 50. Apparently, Drippin just has the best 50-50s in all of Esports Towers right now. And State will find the back of the net. Drippin has won like 3 very half coin flip 50-50s in a row now. We'll have to see if that remains true going into the next couple games. Drippin up to take the shot, takes it off the ground. Pushed back by Lynx defense. Pass up from State. Maybe looking for a shot here. Does not really make contact with the back of the net. Clear out. Maybe Rice will follow, but Drippin actually leaves it for State, who whiffs. So Drippin takes it back, and Rice takes the shot, and it will just, oh, it barely didn't spill in, and State barely keeps it out at the last moment.
Ooh, awkward double commit there between both of our Wolves players. Not really easily punished, though. Now we have State in the corner looking for an opportunity to get it past I Just Ate. It's going to collide with Rice. Now we have an opportunity for the Lynx to push forward, but Drip tries to cut in and whiffs it. Ball off that wall. State going to grab it, bring it into the other side. Ball in Lynx territory. There's very little pressure except for Rice finally comes in, pops the ball up. It's going to go off the back wall. Drip looking for an opportunity to reset the play. It's not going to be able to do it as Rice puts a lot of pressure on them.
Rice passes downfield, but isn't able to remain in control. State just whiffs. Drippin has an opportunity to get it out, and he does barely. This is bad news for I Just Ate. It's barely over him, and it's just barely not in. Drippin just can't quite find the middle of the net there. State able to take the shot. Oh, a whiff. The Lynx defense could have been disastrous if it was on target, but barely not able to do it. I Just Ate pushes it away to State. Keeps it to himself a little bit longer, looking for the play past Rice. Gets the demo. This could be an opportunity, but I Just Ate pushed it out at the last minute. Drippin just has to buy time. He doesn't buy any time. This could be really bad. This could go bad really fast. A 50-50 from State will push it just barely past Lynx offense. Buy enough time for Drippin to take a shot here all on his lonesome.
Looks like Drippin's actually going to try and drag it down for State, but there wasn't enough speed. And we're down to the last 5 seconds here, so even if the Lynx manage to score this goal, the round's going to be over. Still a best of 5. It's okay to lose the first game, but wow. Definitely going to shy away from 2v2 Rocket League for the rest of my I'm playing Rocket League for fun career.
Yeah, that was 2v2 Rocket League is fundamentally different a lot of the time. It's a great place to, in ranked specifically, ranked 2v2 is a great place to kind of focus on your individual gameplay while also working with a teammate, so you don't get the ball all the time, but just enough to get more time with the ball and work on mechanics and that kind of thing. But it's really fundamentally different in terms of how you play with that teammate. So it's not the greatest place for passing plays or like weird demo plays all the time. It's kind of, well, that kind of thing is kind of coin flip, because if it doesn't work, you have no one back. It has to work if you commit 2 players to offense.
I feel like this would have been a great opportunity to watch Thrift and Wilds play a 2v2 game. Maybe we'll see that later on in the future or in another episode here of Rocket League Esports Tower. But we're going to jump back into our 2v2 between the Wolves and the Lynx. Wolves currently are going to be up by 1 in the series, and it's still a best of 5. If the Lynx manage to walk away with a Game 2 victory, it turns us into our standard classic best of 3, but we'll have to wait and see if they're able to do that.
I'm curious with these new players for the Lynx if there was just kind of a feeling that they need to change up some players, or yeah, and I think we see completely different players. Again, we have Ivy Tyler and A part of me wonders though if these are like they recognize as a 2v2, so they're kind of just changing their names for the fun of it right now, but I can't be for sure.
I'm going to go with no, because State is still staying with State. But we have, I bet, Ivy Tyler managed to get the first shot for the Lynx, and that's going to be goal number 1 for them. Perhaps these roster swaps will help us equalize the series and bring us to a best of 3. But let's see if State and Tyson can find their synergy and get a game victory, put their team at match point. But State cuts in, beautiful shot on goal, saved by Ivy Tyler.
Tyler pushing up, maybe looks for a pass. Does get cut off by his teammate Yep. A little bit lack coordination there for a second. Tyson takes the shot all the way downfield. Tyler will deflect it over to the wall. Tyson has a little bit of time. Doesn't have a great touch here though, so taps down for State to take a shot. It's a low roller. Tyler is able to deflect it out to the corner. Plays it slow, maybe back to himself. Does get past one, but does flip it away towards Yep. Plays it over State. Only needs to get past one more player, and he does. Ooh. Even with the demo on Tyson, it's just not enough. The Lynx find the first goal against the Wolves.
The coach has actually been working with the Wolves quite a bit on getting rid of their solo queue mentality, something that not just Rocket League players, but almost every esports player is very guilty of dealing with for themselves. So best of luck, coaches. That's a hard habit to break. I hope it goes away soon for everyone.
Solo queue is so often in every ranked game very different than what it's like to play with a team and play with the intent to win tournaments. But at the end of the day, 2v2 is the game mode that favors that solo queue mindset a little bit more than 3v3 for sure. Tyson looking to make a play here, only has one to get past. He does get past, but Tyler just pushes it out in the last minute, taking it off the wall, past State. Yep, take the shot, and it is top corner in. I thought it was going to be a little too high, but does find a way, put it in the last moment. And now the Lynx lead by 2, or 3 actually.
State gets an awkward ping pong action going off of one of our Lynx defenders. Almost rolls in, but it does hit that bottom corner. Tyson now has a lot of pressure being put on them. Yep is free. Yep is going to be able to take a shot. State rotating back, though, pushes the ball high and into the corner. Tyler looking for an opportunity to dunk the ball down to Yep. Yep already rotating back to the midfield stripe and into back post to prevent this shot on goal from going in.
You can actually statistically just see the playstyle difference between Tyler and Yep here, how they're kind of working together on this. Yep having almost all of the credit on his offensive end, whereas Tyler has 5 saves to his name, playing a lot of defense. Yep, looking for that offensive pressure. He does get past one. It only has to be Tyson. He's in the one and takes the shot. Tyson does fall down off the wall and push out a little bit further. State has a little bit of time, passes it down to Tyson. They're committing to the passing play, but it does not quite work out. No one back. They have to rush back now. Tyler's going to work around, maybe cut off Yep, but no, Yep will take it anyway.
Ooh, and we have State get demoed. Tyler just has to get it past Tyson, but Tyson will get a save. State goes in for the midfield, takes out one of our Lynx players. Tyson's going to pass the ball up to State, who's in the corner. Tyson goes and tries to help them out. Awkward car pileup, and ball hits the ground. Lynx walk away with a 3-0 victory in game number 2, putting us at match point.
Yeah, the roster swap from the Lynx seemed to have worked out. Tyler really kind of being everything for the defensive end right now. We'll have to see if that remains true or if there's any adjustments that are going to be made to help the Wolves kind of break through that defensive line that is Tyler. In 2v2s especially, I would say look for demos a lot more often. I mean, removing one player from the field when they're pushed up especially is the way to go when it takes so long for you to respawn and you don't have 2 players to try to make a play happen.
I'm very sorry to whomever gets stuck on the respawn screen a lot. I bring up that playstyle more often than I probably should. It probably disappoints and angers quite a few Rocket League players, but I believe it is very viable.
It is extremely viable in the right circumstances. You can't just Hail Mary and go demoing people the entire game. You have to look for the right opportunities when those demos really matter when you're actually helping your team with them. But a good player is able to use those demos properly, just gets a stranglehold so fast. We have new players again for the Lynx. We've got Panda Train and Raison. This is, I think we've gone through maybe 6 players now for the Lynx. They seem to just be trying to give everyone as much time as possible. Or it could be some stand-ins specifically for this game.
State, though, still holding strong, being the steadfast player here for our Wolves team. Let's see if they are able to rally the troops, but Ray gets a beautiful shot from borderline across the map, and that's going to put the Lynx in the lead by 1.
State pushes it past, looking for an opportunity here for the Wolves, but does not get past. Oh, he does actually get past him, but he has no teammate who's able to shoot it. Ends up leaving it for D-Boy. Touchdown from D-Boy over to Panda Train. Hits it up past State. This could be bad for the Wolves. Panda Train's up, gets it past 1. He does get the shot from the corner, finds the back of the net, and Panda Train will extend their lead once more. 2-0 lead over the Wolves.
4 minutes on the clock is plenty of time to make up those 2 goals. Roughly 1 every 2 minutes now at this point, which is totally fine, but the Wolves definitely need to get their head in the game here. D-Boy looking for an opportunity to get the ball to the midfield. It's going to be thwarted, though, by Ray. State pops up with possession, gets it past both defenders, and the ball just sails right in.
An extension for the Wolves here with them only 1 goal away from tying it up. State looking to play a little defense here. Ray's hand gets the touch away. Panda Train's up, but not really for any good reason. No way he takes the shot there. Here could be the opportunity for the Wolves to tie it up, but Ray does get the clear out. D-Boy pushes it downfield, but no, he doesn't make contact. Panda instead gets the push downfield. State has to play defense. He has to take it across the end to the other corner. Here we are playing defense in the corner. Ray does get the beat past 1. D-Boy, last line of defense. He does bang it out. Panda has to play slow, play it back towards his own corner. He looks to pass it almost, but doesn't get that great of a touch. He does barely clear it out before State is able to score it. And now we're going back and forth between both ends of the field. Neither team being able to get stranglehold on offense quite yet.
Panda tries to go for the challenge against State, but is too little too late and can't get any opportunity to get involved in that play. Ray rotating back into the corner, manages to push the ball in the mid, but D-Boy circumvents both defenders. Great solo play by them, and that brings the Wolves to a 2-score line as well, and we are tied 2-a-side with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left on the clock.
Ray popped over 1. Barely saved by D-Boy, but it's just hanging in front of the net. Ray can take the shot. He does. It's a slow roller, and he just misses completely. State will take it up the wall now, looking for an opportunity. Past 1. Just has Rays to beat. Rays does get a free touch on the ball. D-Boy is shadowing back, plays it towards the corner, looks for an air dribble off the play here, but actually just bangs it past 1. Rayzon will tap it down. D-Boy and State are up. A little bit of a miscoordination there. The shot from State barely tapped out by Lynx. 0-0 scoreline, passing the halfway point of the game. Now we just wait.
All right, we have an awkward ball roll come out from Ray's shot. Panda tried to follow it up. State, though, is going to grab it, brings the mid, play it off the wall. They have D-Boy right there, but they lose possession, and a double commit out from the Lynx will actually allow the ball to drop down. D-Boy trying to keep this play alive. Ray and Panda will collide. Nothing punished just yet, but State with a beautiful beeline straight towards the net finds goal number 3, putting the Wolves in the lead by 1.
Rays takes the kickoff, a double commit on the kickoff from the Lynx. State looking to make a play of his own now, trying to solidify his lead on the Lynx. A complete comeback here. D-Boy takes the shot. Rays taps it into his own net. He probably just didn't have the angle, but he didn't have the angle because no one was there to begin with. No one is playing defense. And now the Wolves have a 2-0 lead. They've completely flipped the script on the Lynx coming into game 3.
Own goals happen. It's, you know, if you were there, it went in. If you weren't there, it went in. It's okay. But 2 goals, minute and 20 seconds is doable, especially when you're in the back third at the other side of the field in offensive positioning. But unfortunately, that sending the ball to the completely opposite corner makes the angle a little bit too rough. Ball gets dug down in front of the net. We have a give and go from State to D-Boy at the mid, but a collision between State and Panda actually brings the ball back into the Wolves defending third.
Rays. A little bit of a lucky bounce. He didn't have any way of making an adjustment for that bounce, so it just kind of worked out.
It makes up for it all. No.
It does make up for the own goal. It makes up for the defensive mistake from earlier, but this certainly won't, as the ball just kind of breaks away and State finds the back of the net with no contest whatsoever. And now 5-3 lead in favor of the Wolves. The Lynx are right back where they started. A minute left to find 2 goals is doable, but they have to make some changes as the Wolves have kind of been running all over.
Is keep away play style for the last 30 seconds as viable?
much more viable in 2v2.
All right.
There's a lot more space to do just dribbling, and then once one person approaches you, you just flick it over the one. The next guy has to take the tap that you just flicked into the ceiling most of the time, or really high up, so they have to tap it away from themselves. So you just kind of bounce it between you for a while.
What is happening, Wolves? State on the last play just kind of was flat-footed, flat-tired in front of the net, didn't even go for it, so that actually gave the Lynx 1 goal while I was asking my question to Tacky. Now we're in a 1-goal differential situation with 20 seconds on the clock. Not where the Wolves want to be. They had a beautiful lead and thwarted it themselves. They were their own worst enemy, and a shot from midfield. It's actually going to tie us up with 14 seconds left on the clock, and there is Tacky has a face that is just the only way I can describe it is, okay, wow, all right, yeah, that happens.
I mean, we're at a 10-goal game. We're guaranteed at least 11 goals because we have to go to overtime and get another one right here. This has been a very spicy game. I mean, this is pretty normal for 2v2s. There's not a whole lot of defense to play. It's a lot of just 1v1s, like I said. But this is the highest scoring game we've seen out of these 3 games so far. Heading into our overtime. Panda and State battle for it in the midfield. It does pop up. D-Boy is able to get there first. Ray shadowing to the corner. Does have the ability to play it past one. State is up. Not able to make anything of it. However, taps it towards the midfield. Panda is up. Not able to make contact. So instead, Ray will cut in the way. D-Boy barely beat out. State has to make a final last-ditch effort save. Panda passes it mid to Rays, who passes it off the wall, but no follow-up. So D-Boy gets to play it out. A double commit from the Lynx. This could be a disaster. State just has to get it down the field fast. He's not able to. He gives him plenty of time to rotate back. Now he has to look for the flick. He gets past one. It's up past one. Panda has to tap it away over to Rayzan, who taps it back to himself. Maybe looking for a flick of his own. Past one. Only has to get past the other and barely doesn't. The back and forth, the 1v1 plays, just as I was talking about earlier. State now looking for his own, and Muskie off the sidewall, but will not be able to make contact with the back of the net.
It gives me, this game mode gives me so much anxiety. I don't understand how y'all are able to do this. State now going for an opportunity. There was no one on them and no pressure. They just spiked the ball high. An interesting choice, allowing Panda to easily grab it. State looked like they're looking for an elevation, but is not going to get it. Place it off the back wall. No follow-up immediately from D-Boy means rotating to the back post. Ray plays it around D-Boy easily, and that's the golden goal. Lynx will walk away with the Game 3 victory, and that puts them at series point.
Yeah, definitely an interesting set of events. That game, a very spicy game, lots of goals scored, but I don't know. I mean, with all the variations in teams right now, it's hard to say necessarily what should be worked on and whether or not they should just make more team swaps.
I feel like this entire like lower bracket is literally Esports Tower looking at the two of us and be like, "Oh, you want to talk about things? Good luck."
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm totally down for it, Dave. If this is how you want to play things, I will expect the unexpected every single game in the lower bracket. I am ready and I am here for it.
It just feels like the lower bracket is a giant rainforest and just anything can happen.
Yes.
All sorts of wildlife and craziness going on. There are no rules. But yeah, it's a really exciting series to watch, but I'd really like to see how they can adapt to kind of the 1v1 playstyle we saw at the end. Lots of dribbling and flicks, and just kind of see what they can do mechanically, have some confidence in what they can do on those flashy solo plays, especially in the 2v2 format.
Well, either get flashy or get ready to go home, because right now the Wolves are down by 1 in our series, and Lynx are at series point. They just need to win in this next 5 minutes, and they will keep themselves alive, as this is our lower bracket, meaning the safety net is gone. This is our redemption shot, and there is nothing left after that for these teams.
Rays looking for a solo play off the wall, doesn't make quality contact, so Panda will be able to clear it out. Rays with a good demo, but ultimately Panda is the one with control. He does stay in contact a little bit longer. Rays forces him off the ball, though. He kind of just plays chicken with him until he leaves possession. Wolves still in control of the play.
D-Boy and Panda swap. I'm done.
Wait.
I'm done. Okay, so this is how it is.
What?
Wolves team is Panda.
Yep.
And Lynx team is Ray.
Yep, but they switched.
The other two are like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm in school too,
Wait,
and I have exams. This is breaking my brain.
Wait, State was always on the Wolves, though, right?
Yes, so
yeah,
State is our Wolves team.
State is the only fixture and sense of like cementing these teams have right now, because everything else is chaos.
Exactly. State is the Wolves. That is it. That is all I am certain of anymore at this point.
It feels like both teams are using all of their bullpen and some of the other teams as well at this point.
You pull the keeper and then you pull the entire roster from all of Esports Tower.
Yeah, definitely some interesting changes in players here. State barely not able to take the shot off of D-Boy's touch. Rays pushing downfield. Panda towards the sidewall. Is able to get past one. He does get past one. Rays does leave it. D-Boy off the wall. Could be an opportunity for State, but he is able to get in the way in time, so it'll push down. Panda has to shadow it, play a little defense. Is able to cut off one, but not a great touch at all. Just gives it over to Rays, who takes the touch for free. Drills in front of the net. State will win out, but Panda just barely wins the double commit straight towards the ball. It will slow the play down in the corner for a second.
Ooh, Panda is going to get demoed, though, leaving State alone to flounder in front of the net for a little bit. Respawn very fast, though, in 2v2. I'm guessing it's quicker than 2.4, right?
I actually don't know if it's different. I don't think it is, to my understanding of the game. Maybe that's something...
I'm going to fact check that later.
Yeah, we should fact check that. I mean, I have, like, almost 3.5 thousand hours in this game, and I don't think they have different times, but I could be wrong. I mean, you learn stuff like that about games you play all the time. That's just how it works. You don't know everything. D-Boy plays it towards the wall. State is up. Taps it back. Battle in midfield for right now. Ray gets over one. Panda playing it slow. Rays gets past one, but actually he gets past all three. He balls everyone and his teammate. Kind of is solo playing into himself. State trying to stop him from doing whatever he wants right now. D-Boy is tasked with quite the shot opportunity here. He's definitely never able to shoot that, but gets the touch anyway. State with the long banger downfield, barely not making contact with the ceiling. State with the pass out mid, but no one for the Wolves ready. The Lynx will still hold their lead even after that play. A little bit of a double commit, but no, looks like the Lynx had a mutual agreement that they just barely won't bump each other, and they'll just pass the ball over.
Well, we've got 2 minutes left, and the Lynx are in the lead by one. State is doing the best they can with Panda, trying to get another goal for their team. I don't know how they're managing to do this. I think maybe the swapping the players around is to get rid of comfort and to force that solo mentality to be broken even more. Maybe it's just to fully break the mentals, really not of the players, but of those of us on desk. With that being said, battling out at midfield right now, Ray has a great breakaway. He's actually going to demo Panda. Pop the ball up, take an awkward dribble, meaning State's able to push forward to the midfield with possession immediately. Thwarted by D-Boy, Panda Trade goes in for the rescue. He's going to try to maintain possession here, play it in the middle, but they have both members of the Lynx putting pressure on them.
State gets past one, gets past two, does find the far corner, extends his lead from 0 to 1, meaning we're at the complicated 0-0 scoreline, as Artie would like to call it. Minute left on the clock. Rays will win 50-50. This is an opportunity here as it rolls kind of in front. State's not quite there yet, but D-Boy is just too slow to get in the way. State passes it in the midfield, but Ray is in the way, plays it slow, takes it towards the other end, sees if there's space. Panda gets the 50-50. It'll spill out to D-Boy. Has to get past State. He does hit it towards the wall. This is an opportunity for State to take it away, and he does. Rolls in front of the net. Rays barely able to chip it out. Again, no response from the Wolves. A lot of opportunities here for both teams, but especially the Wolves, just roll across the net, and just no one's feeling confident enough to get up in their face and find that goal.
Panda now looking to play it around one. Unfortunately, they barely do, but they collide with them at the same time. So State comes in to help out. Shot on goal, going to be flicked away by Ray. State now going for the challenge. It's going to be met by I think that was D-Boy. Now Rays at the midfield, leaves the ball for D-Boy, and now we are at the last 6 seconds. We're tied one aside. This ball needs to go into the Wolves net or into the Lynx's net before that clock runs out, where the ball hits the ground now at this point, and it's going to be overtime instead.
Second overtime in a row?
Yep.
Drastically different scorelines, though.
Oh, yeah.
We're now at a much calmer game, despite it being 2v2. I don't think the offense has necessarily died down. I think the mistakes have just gotten a little bit cleaner. It's hard to say necessarily, though. 2v2 is a little bit of a different game. At a demo on the wall, finding blood wherever they can get it. Rays looking for the solo play. D-Boy playing off to the side, but not really anything he can do from there. State taps it away to Panda Trade, who gets the big clear. D-Boy is up, tap towards the corner, but State's already ready for him. Panda actually cuts in instead. State is up, looks for the tap off the sidewall. Rays hits it back up to himself. State gets 50-50 past one, barely able to get it out before Panda comes and swoops up that goal.
Ray now plays it around State. Ball's going to get popped up at borderline midfield. Rays now bringing it into the center in front of Wolves' goal. Panda, though, met them on the ground, allows State to chip in, sends the ball into the back corner in Lynx territory. Popped up by D-Boy. Rays goes for the follow-up to make sure it crosses midfield stripe. It goes over Panda, but that means Lynx lose possession, and the ball is in the Wolves' hands, but it's in their defensive third. They need to get it out of here. We're crossing across that minute and 15-second territory. Rays, though, trying to close this overtime, takes the shot. It's far too wide, and State is able to send it back to the mid.
Panda taking control of the play, taps it up off the wall, rolling out mid. Rays barely able to keep it out. There's an opportunity here for the Lynx, but a demo from State will defuse the situation entirely. Rays playing it towards the corner, takes the 50-50 with Panda. Panda ends up winning it out. D-Boy with a pass off the wall. Could take the shot from there, but State will cut him off. Rays now playing it towards the corner, slow playing it, trying to stop State, but doesn't get in the way. State takes the shot. It's barely off the sidebar. It will not go in. Rays playing it down, looking for the solo play, but Panda is able to cut it off. No contact there from the Lynx. Panda playing it off the wall, pinches it out mid. State's there, he takes the shot and it's good. The Wolves, after 2 minutes of overtime, will claim victory in that game. And I believe that sends us to game 5?
Yep.
Yep. In proper Esports Tower fashion, what we're gonna do is make the best of 5 a best of 3, and then we're gonna drag it out all the way to the best of 5 and stress the two of us out as much as we possibly can if we weren't stressed enough already by a 2v2 game in general.
At this point, you and I are like Pacha and Cusco tied to the tree, and we're asking if we're going over a waterfall with a bunch of pointy rocks at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
And to that, our response is, of course, just bring it on. It's
Yeah.
the only thing we can say at this point. I don't even know if we're going to see State in this next game. I don't know if we're going to see Panda.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope we see State. He's the one thing that I've been able to hang on to as we go on this crazy ride.
Our one sense of reality.
Yeah. It's like when someone's swinging on a rope and they're just like clinging to it as hard as they can because they're not very good at it. That's how I feel in State.
What?
Oh, what?
State, I am so sorry. Okay,
Wait, no, he's got Rays.
Okay.
But that means we switched again. And now it's Panda with D-Boy, and Rays is with State. And our UI is broken, and doesn't show Rays, but Rays is there, I promise. He just hit the ball away from State. D-Boy not able to make contact in the corner. Rays finding the bump, Panda tapping it back up to himself. Maybe looks for a flick past one. He does get past him, it could be good, but Rays barely cuts into the last minute. Rays taking it towards the wall back to himself. Could be an open net here, but doesn't get the touch he was looking for. What in the world? What happened to the Lynx defense? There were two of them there.
All I know is State managed
They
to
were
get
there
a goal.
and then they were gone.
And when I initially saw the games load in, I know our Bacchus mod was busted before we first scored that first goal. I really thought that it was State versus the world. And I was like, oh my goodness. State, I am so sorry.
45 seconds in, we got 2 goals. That lead from the Wolves died immediately. Oh my goodness. Panda train is up, gets a weird tap to the corner. D-Boy has to play it, plays it back to himself. Oh no, he actually taps it towards Panda, who doesn't make contact. It's slow rolling. D-Boy barely keeps it to himself, but has to pass it over to Rayzan. He then takes it off the wall and just passing it to D-Boy, working together to find his own back of the net. Ray is now pushing it out. Over 1. State with the tap past Panda, but the 50-50 will lay in mid a little longer. D-Boy off the wall. State has a little bit of time, but instead just opts to bang it as hard as he can. Panda will tap it up. State takes the shot from there, but it isn't to their corner. It will defuse the play entirely.
That's unfortunate. Now D-Boy gets pushed forward to midfield, thwarted by Rays. Rays now has no one in front of them, but Panda barely cuts in at the last second to make a fabulous save. State rotating back in their own back third territory, playing the ball off the wall. Is high enough to get past D-Boy, no problem, and there's no one else home. And with that, the Wolves put themselves back in the lead, but there's 3 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock. I take nothing for granted anymore at this point. This game is so absolutely kooky, like that. So with that being said, we are now tied to a side.
Let the record show both of the Lynx's goals have looked exactly like that this game. And have followed a Wolves goal almost immediately.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, so the Lynx clearly have the kickoffs figured out. It's the Wolves right now because that seems to be their main win condition. Oh, and that's just it. Okay, so a little bit of a reliance too much on the last man will result in State just saying, okay, I'll take my next goal here. And if things go normally, a Lynx goal should happen right about now. Nope, not quite. Maybe in a minute. We'll see.
maybe the Wolves actually can maintain this lead and it's not returned immediately by the Lynx to equalize things out, and they walk away with a series victory. But it could go either way at this point. Who knows? Because there's a fantastic breakaway. Nobody's home for the Wolves. And there's another goal immediately for the Lynx, tying us up 3-aside.
I think the key is that I don't point it out and it'll happen. And if you point out that, oh, look, it's not happening, it'll happen, right? That's how it works. It's caster first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. I'm sorry to all like 8 players we've seen on the field in this game. I will take the hit on this one. I caster cursed this game. This entire series.
Almost tried to put us right back where we started with an own goal, but he does manage to tap it out. Razan looking for the play off the ceiling. It doesn't quite work out. Panda Train and the Dominus pushing a little harder. State looking for the play here. Passes it mid to the invisible third player. Now Razan will play it slow into his own corner. He actually taps it fast into his own corner. Not playing it slow at all, but does eventually find a safer clear. Does give possession away to the Lynx, however. They can just... Okay, State is there. He was blocked by the ball. Where's the defense?
I'll be honest, if Rays had own goaled that one, I really would have chalked that one up to Rays having swapped over from the Lynx side to the Wolves side when playing for the Lynx in the last 3 games.
Yeah, you'd have to get confused enough eventually. You'd think that, you know, in like League of Legends where you can automatically set it where the enemy team is always red, that you'd have something like that for Rocket League, but you do not. So.
My enemy team is always pink in the games I play.
Pink. Oh, I guess, yeah, there's the colorblind options as well.
Yes.
Can't forget the colorblind option. State looking for an extension here to his Wolves lead.
Ooh.
And looks like we'll be looking at... Oh, no, I don't know what happened to the second Lynx player, but he was not able to jump on that easy open net. D-Boy kind of slow playing it for Panda. Panda is able to get past one, but only so that State can take the free touch. Oh, and see, that's a scary situation. We saw the Wolves go for the demo play to open the net up there, and it was a good idea, but because it didn't work, we're now in a scary situation. They barely get out of it. State and Rays kind of bodying each other to find a way out. Is this an own goal?
Panda, what did you just do?
Oh no, and the Wolves finally find a way to solidify their lead, and this thanks to Panda just being a little bit too confused. Whoa, Rays us now.
What?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what's happening?
State, I'm so sorry.
Okay, wait, Panda's on both teams. Wait, everyone's on the same team. Everyone's on the same team. Okay, so just so everybody's aware now, I don't know. It's just... I'm just going to gesture vaguely at the game and let you guys watch it. Any thoughts already?
I really think that I don't know. I think our UI is busted.
That's a good shot.
Wait, no, our UI can't be busted because we legitimately saw people despawn and respawn.
Oh, the UI is definitely busted.
And the colors are correct. Our UI is busted. There is 4 players on one team. Now it's a 3v1, and State is doing exactly what I saw at the beginning of the game, and I'm so sorry, State.
Well, Race is on both teams, so according to the UI, what is he actually? Is he playing for Orange right now?
Yeah, State is solo.
State is solo. Wait, where'd he go? Is he just not on the field?
I have no idea.
Oh, there's Race. He's blue.
Oh, Race is back in?
Oh, and the UI is dying. He doesn't know what to do.
We don't know what to do either, okay? It's valid, it's fair, UI, we forgive you, there is no hard feelings.
Yes? So who's... Okay, Wolves are winning.
Yes,
right?
Wolves are now winning.
I don't know, man. I'm just throwing my arms in the air at this point. If I was like a ESPN caster and I had a clipboard, it would have been long gone by now. Just tossed it, dude. I don't know anymore. Wolves are leading 2 seconds. Wait, no, they're not? Lynx just scored?
Yeah.
Did I miss? Oh. 0 seconds, 12-goal game. I'm so confused.
And apparently we have
overtime.
7 people on the field.
Wait.
According to Bacchus.
Okay, so we have 2 States and 2 Rays in.
Oh my gosh.
We almost find the exact same Lynx goal that we've seen literally like 3 times this game already, again. But it's barely deflected by that lucky, should I say 8th man on the sidebar. D-Boy just rolls it at the net and Panda taps it away. D-Boy. So Panda has switched teams now. Now the team is State and Panda.
Swapped over to the Lynx squad. Okay.
I can't remember how well State and Panda did when they were playing together before. Okay, well. Anyway, that's your series. That was crazy. The Lynx were the one that won. I couldn't even tell anymore. The Lynx will come away with this victory.
State is MVP of Esports Tower Rumble. I'm calling it now. They deserve it. They just went into a 1v3 at various points in time. They're getting my vote for the ICC player of the game. We're not even halfway through this broadcast, and I'm calling it.
Yeah, what? I second that. I don't even know. I don't know what could possibly happen, and then however many series we have left for today, but I imagine it will not be as crazy as that, or I hope not, because I am getting very confused.
Me too. But if you want the opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land one of those sweet collegiate scholarships we talked about earlier. And, you know, this might just sound like complete, like, you know, it's going to sound really strange, but the Lynx did survive against the Wolves. They survived against...
I honestly, I don't know. I mean, okay, they made it to Game 5, so they both clearly survived each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I can't remember who started on the Lynx and who started on the Wolves, so I can't exactly tell like who survived who in Game 5. I'm gonna say that it was like a perfect draw. They both, it's like, you know, they scrapped and then they just like both walked away. It's like, all right, good fight, and then they just, you know, shake hands and walk out.
I really thought I knew how to cast Rocket League.
I know how to cast Rocket League. That wasn't Rocket League. I don't know what that was. That was not Rocket League.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take what Taggy just said and roll with it. That was the offspring or a long-distance cousin of Rocket League. With that being said, Lynx, in some way, shape, or form, survived and are going to continue in our second chance bracket here. We don't know if it's going to continue looking like how it just did. I'm fine if it does. It was a blast to cast. It was very confusing, and all of us can be along for the ride. But with that being said, Wolves, you will not move on to the next round, so I apologize, but we might see one of you in the future because of how deep these rosters are when you pull the keeper, apparently. With that being said, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Power Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Arena, and it is time for our lower bracket finals. The Barracudas won our winner finals earlier and await the winner of this game, who will get the shot at the title next week, the Hammerheads or the Lynx. I'm your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me to call all the action on desk is Joe Attacky Chick Brow. And before we continue on from our, I'm going to call it really a saga. That last game was a saga.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching a Rocket League series if it was kind of orchestrated by Tim Burton.
Yes, I really want to give a huge and very much so needed shout out to Ray, the human being who had to capture that entire game. I'm sure they were just as confused as we were here on desk while they were attempting to do the capturing and trying to watch that game. So thank you so much, Ray. We appreciate you, and I love you to pieces. You are an amazing human being, and thank you so much for helping as much as you do with all of this chaos happening. You are a wonderful person to have a part of this family. And we can take a look at the story that has unfolded thus far. As you saw in our upper bracket, we had Mammoths against the Barracudas after the Barracudas knocked the Wolves down, and then we had Hammerheads against the Lynx. And now we are going to have the Barracudas take on the Hammerheads as the Lynx and the Mammoths were both knocked down to our second chance bracket. The Lynx and the Mammoths battled it out, unfortunately. The Lynx and the Mammoths battled it out, and the winner of that was the Lynx. That's actually the Lynx and the Wolves. And with that being said, we now need to determine who's going to go up against the Barracudas. Will it be the Lynx? Will it be the Hammerheads?
Yeah, so the Hammerheads have actually already played the Barracudas according to that bracket, and they did lose. So we haven't gotten to see a single teammate for the Barracudas. I'm curious what team was strong enough to take down the Hammerheads. But definitely an interesting series ahead of us. I believe, wait, did we not start with Hammerheads versus Lynx as well?
We might have, but that is okay. Ooh.
It's a different roster altogether. We've got, this time for the Hammerheads, we made two switches. We have Endercrafter and D-Bones in. And for the Lynx, we have Matrix, who was a new name to me, Cherry Reds, and I want to say Lieutenant Dan Ice Cream 87. So, we get to cast those names.
Okay. D-Bone, definitely a new name. Endercrafter, we've seen plenty of times before, and Potato. We talked about them quite a bit in our opening game, and I do believe you are right. Everyone on the other side for the Lynx squad is all brand new. That being said, we've crossed the minute mark, and no goals have been scored. Haven't seen any major mistakes yet. We have D-Bone trying to pitch this ball down, but we have a two-car pileup of Lynx players in the corner, allowing Cherry to push forward at midfield stripe, plays around Endercrafter, doesn't do a give and go fast enough, so Ender easily cuts over, sending the ball into the back third of Lynx territory.
D-Bones passed one, does get the pass out, and the Hammerheads will push ahead against the Lynx, establishing that lead that they've had in the last series as well when they swept. Kickoff in favor of Potato. Gets the touch out. D-Bones passing it mid, does get a pass over to Potato, who does get the touch, but it is wide. Matrix will push it out, look for the pass to Cherry Reds here, but does not make contact, so it will spill out in favor of the Hammerheads. Barely beat, however, so Dan Ice Cream is able to keep it out a little longer.
Ball gets popped up into back third of Lynx territory. Cherry tries to battle away from two offensive players. Can't do it, but Endercrafter sends the ball into the mid. It takes an awkward bounce off the ceiling. Resets are coming out for the Hammerheads as they're going into defensive positioning. Potato, fabulous clear across the midfield stripe. Looks like they managed to get it past Cherry. I don't really know how the game allowed that to happen, but it happened. Endercrafter going for the centering opportunity for Potato. Unfortunately, the shot is too wide.
D-Bones looking for a play to one. Does end up leaving it for Endercrafter. Rolls off the wall. D-Bones looks to the pass off the backboard now. Endercrafter and Potato are up. There's no one back. D-Bones has to make a last-ditch effort save. He doesn't have that much time. Yeah, and he takes way too much time. Lynx will hop on top of that Cherry Red. Specifically, will find a goal for the Lynx, giving them their first goal in the series. About the halfway mark, we're at that complicated 0-0 scoreline. Yet to see who's really going to pull ahead. Endercrafter playing the midfield, taps it towards the backboard. Potato's up to get the read, doesn't quite get it. Endercrafter doesn't get the read of his own touch as well. Potato has to rush back, try to slow play it in the corner. Does get past one, ends up almost getting past two, but just barely messes up the solo play. So now D-Bones has to play it off in the corner, but Matrix will stop him. Potato with the push out is blocked by Cherry Reds. It'll spill out mid, but Potato is barely able to respond. Now we take the fight all the way to the other corner of the Hammerhead defensive end.
Protato dunks the ball down over to Ender, but in front of their own goal, a little bit risky, doesn't get punished. Cherry now takes that ball away, cutting into the passing lane. Something we don't typically see very early on in games. And it looks like our tied one-aside scoreline is going to immediately swing in favor now of the Lynx.
Lynx are completely unwilling to see the same result they saw in the last series. They're pulling ahead and trying to find a way to break out against the Hammerheads here with a completely different roster. Endercrafter passing it mid, does get the tap out to D-Bones, who shoots it low. Matrix is barely in the way. A good save for Potato, playing it slow off of Matrix's touch, gets the tap around one. Endercrafter playing it in the corner, tries to pass it out mid. Ice Cream is in the way. He taps it towards the middle of the field. Two players for the Lynx are up. Only a tap out to the corner. Matrix just happens to spill out in the way. This is an opportunity here. Potato has to be in the way, and he is. Spill it out to the corner. He has to find a way past two Lynx defenders, and he does. Cherry Reds ends up leaving it for him as Potato taps it against the backboard, trying to pass to a teammate, and pressure will convert in favor of the Lynx.
Ball is in Hammerhead territory. Minute 8 seconds on the clock. Hammerhead's looking for an opportunity to find that equalizer goal that they desperately want. Endercrafter elevates, tries to push the ball to the side. It's going to be chased immediately by Matrix and Cherry, who both whiff. Potato also gets a whiff. Ball sent right into the defending third of Hammerhead territory. Again, D-Bones goes for a clear, awkward miscommunication with them and Endercrafter, but ball still now in Lynx territory. No pressure on Cherry for an easy clear now. Immediately back into the Hammerhead's back third.
Endercrafter taps over one, keeps it to himself, passes it mid. Has no player there yet, so Matrix will pass it towards the back wall back to himself, but D-Bones cuts it off, takes the shot towards back of the net. Cherry Red is tapping it away towards the corner. Potato playing it slow, looks for the pass out bid off the backboard. D-Bones is up, is blocked by Cherry Reds, who plays it off towards the wall. A little bit of miscommunication there. Matrix will pop out, however, holding his lead, trying to find that one last goal, and he will find it with 14 seconds left on the clock. The Lynx will pull ahead by 2 goals. Hammerheads running out of time to turn this in their favor in game 1.
2-goal differential, 11 seconds. It's just GG go next, really, unless there's an act of the Rocket League gods and the Hammerheads and the Lynx players put down their controllers. I do not foresee the Hammerheads closing this goal gap. The ball's going to hit the ground. I mean, a 2-goal deficit's not horrible. We call it the nail in the coffin very frequently because it means that no, bars to beat or goal is going to put the enemy team in the lead or equalize it out. So with that being said, it's a best of 5. It's fine. So you can go on to the next one and just do it a little better. If you were to give advice to our Hammerhead squad, what would you say to them?
I mean, you've got a completely different roster now. I'm not really sure. Well, not completely different, like mostly different roster, but I'm not sure how that's going to work with team synergy, but most of all, I think what you have to rely on especially is coordination and using your eyes and scanning the field. So even if something doesn't get communicated properly or you don't necessarily realize it until too late, especially if you're that third man, it's just scan the field, make sure you're recognizing where your teammates are at and just trying to play around that, play around each other a little bit more. Don't stick to defined roles as much as you think you need to.
Don't tunnel vision, guys. All right, so we're going to be jumping into game number 2 here, and just to answer the question that Taki had earlier, yes, the Hammerheads did already face off against the Barracudas. They're the ones that sent them down here into our lower brackets, so they definitely want revenge, but we won't even get to find out who wins in the Grand Championship because that's going to take place next week.
So...
Again?
Okay, so we've got D-Bones out for Johns, and scrapped the entire Lynx roster for probably the 4th time today. And now we've got Matt Beard, Ryjax, TRXC, and I think that, yeah, those are all the changes. John barely not able to make contact, so Potato will bail him out for a second. Matt Beard doesn't make contact either, so Potato has time, but TRX will push it out a little further.
Ball gets popped up. Looks like elevation from Potato and Ryjax. Neither one really gets the better of the 50-50. Endercrafter collides with Ryjax. I think Matt just went for the challenge. Ball is going to be in front of Lynx's goal for a few moments here. Endercrafter tries to cut in and whiffs it. Unfortunately, Potato at the mid goes for the challenge, gets it under 1. Oh. And unfortunate whiff from the second defender means that is going to be a goal in favor of the Hammerheads.
Misread on the 50-50 will put the Hammerheads ahead, punishing that mistake. They'll have to keep that lead, though. They have done a really good job of finding the leads in these series. The struggles with keeping it. Ryjax pushing it towards the side, just trying to find that opening right now, trying to punish that mistake again. Potato passes it out mid to Endercrafter, barely blocked the last second by TRX. Ryjax begs downfield and responds. Potato has to play it slow, so he pushes it towards the wall. Endercrafter can cut off, but ends up leading it for John. Takes the begging shot towards the back of the net. Endercrafter takes the upper 90 shot, doesn't make contact. Potato instead will follow up off the bounce from the crossbar, find the back of the net, finding that security goal for the Hammerheads.
Potato's going to win the kickoff and leave it for Endercrafter and be there for the follow-up because Matt did disrupt that forward push. Unfortunately, though, a whiff from John means ball isn't back there to Hammerhead territory. Endercrafter brings it across midfield stripe, gets past Matt very easily. Ray goes for the challenge, forces the ball to be popped into the midfield. Potato dunking it down at the stripe. Matt goes for the challenge, keeping this opportunity alive for the Lynx. Shot on goal, high and right, and it goes right in. And that is goal number 1 for the Lynx.
That was a nasty redirect off the top of his card towards the upper 90. A very, very good shot from the Lynx. We'll put them in a position where they're only 1 off from tying it and trying to take back the lead, but Endercrafter says, nuh-uh, I want my lead back. Tapping it towards, gimme, 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 but does not end up finding it. Matt Beard clearing it out. John's looking for the pass. Ryjax has to find the clear. He does it, but nobody makes contact, and Aaron Potato will be there to clean it up. Potato just being that solid state for the Hammerheads right now. If all else fails, he'll be in the way and find the back of the net. Now, he has to play it towards the wall and play it a little slow. He probably doesn't have teammates mid yet.
TRX takes the shot. It's going to be a little bit too slow. Matt goes in for the follow-up. It's going to bounce off the back wall. Ender is going to dunk it down. Still inside Hammerhead territory, though. No one was there to find the clear, so it means they got to get this one out quickly. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. They're in a 2-goal lead, but that's hard to maintain for basically half of this game.
Johns almost bodies it through on a Doomsy dish. Endercrafter is up to try to find the pass. Potato will take the shot. No, he will. He'll pass it off the backboard. Endercrafter will clean it up. Some good teamwork, a good recognition from Potato. Hey, I don't have the angle quite yet. I'm going to call my teammate over. I'm going to tap it off the backboard, making it a little bit harder to read. They will find the double security goal at this point.
Potato grabbing the ball off the wall. It's going to ricochet off the ceiling, go down to Ray, who pops it up. They're going to have to play it off the back wall and look for a redirect, but they're not going to be able to find it. Slight double commit from the Hammerheads goes unpunished. Ball crossing midfield stripe. Matt and Potato go for the 50-50. Neither one gets the better of that touch. Endercrafter racing in here in the corner, looking to corral it, get a goal-scoring opportunity. Thwarted immediately by Matt, sending the ball to the mid with TRX rushing forward, popping up over one. There's an open goal. Top left corner. Lynx finally find the second goal for themselves. Down by 2, 91 seconds on the clock.
Plenty of time to turn it, but the Hammerheads have held strong so far. Ryjax probably picking up the pass, but Johns will cut him off. It'll spill out towards Matt Beard, who hits it off the backboard. Potato is up. Some miscommunication there for a second. Definitely recovered on Potato. Is up. TRX taps it down. Ryjax in the way of Potato, but he will keep it to himself. He pushes it under 1 and past the second, so we beat 2 defenders. TRX is the last man standing, but he does taps the ground, leaves it free for Johns, who will then play it off into the corner. Endercrafter looks for the 50-50. He will win out. He has control of the play. Matt Beard will take the next 50-50, however, and will bang it all the way towards the Hammerheads' end. Now they have to play defense.
Endercrafter just has to get it past Matt. Matt makes the save, not even going to credit the shot on goal. Matt now pushing forward, has to get it past Endercrafter, returning the favor, popping it to the side. Ray dunks the ball down. John tries to pop it up, but he's challenged by TRX. Matt goes for the shot on goal. It's too wide. Potato now going forward. There was a huge rotation push there by the Lynx. Could be capitalized on here now by the Hammerheads, but Matt has rotated into the back post, as has TRX and Ray. So they're piling up in the goal. All 3 members is not enough to stop Potato, though, and that is another goal for the Hammerheads.
Hammerheads, 5 goals to the 2 left from the Lynx will mean that they will come away with game 2 here. And did the Lynx take game 1 or did the Hammerheads? I can't remember.
I thought that was game 1.
That was game 1? Didn't we just do game 1 and it was with a completely different roster, right?
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
These roster swaps are breaking my brain.
And they're breaking me a little bit too. It's kind of hard to keep track of. I think does that put a 2-0 lead for the Hammerheads then?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. So they're set up for their sweep again. It feels a little bit less clean than the last time.
Gee, I wonder why.
But they definitely had to battle.
I'm going to throw shade and sass here because I know this is the players.
Yeah. But it's definitely not it's not doomed for the Lynx yet, but they have a
No.
long road ahead of them if they want any chance of coming back.
Oh wait, no, we're tied one aside.
Oh, we're tied one aside. Okay, well still.
The sweet stuff.
It's just not quite clean enough yet, and it looks like, okay. So.
Potato, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Potato.
State and Potato, you guys are my homies for the day. So for Hammerheads, we have Flurpsy, and I'm just gonna say there. And then we have Gabo, Gobs, the sweet stuff, and Tie Dot for Lynx. Again, for the 5th time today, we have scrapped the Lynx roster and started over completely. We're gonna see if that kind of call is gonna work out for them. Potato pushing towards the wall, gets 50-50. Flurpsy takes it towards the wall himself, maybe looking for an air dribble. Gets absolutely taken out by Tie Dot and sent towards the ceiling. Potato with the pass. No contact from Zur. Will mean that the goal is not there yet. Potato has to kind of circle back, look for an opportunity again, but this time looking for a teammate. Just not quite able to do anything with it though.
Gabo's gonna take a shot on goal, flicking it up. It's gonna be easily saved by Zur. Flurpsy now going to midfield. He's gonna push the ball too far forward, allowing TY to come in, push the ball up against their own wall. They'll lose possession though. Sweet Stuff tries to make the save, but instead they're gonna be used as a pool cue. The ball's gonna go in. That's goal number 1 for the Hammerheads.
Zur, the shot, the goal, and the save to his name. Doing a little bit of everything right now. Omnipresence on the field. It's Tie Dot working to find his own marker in this game. He does get past there. It just looks like the read was just poor from Hammerhead's defense, and now the Lynx will be back in that comfortable 0-0 scoreline. If there's one thing that's kind of been ringing true about the Hammerheads in this series especially, is that they have a hard time holding on to the leads they create. They create a lead pretty early. I think every game now they started 1-0, but that hasn't guaranteed their victory. It hasn't guaranteed that they've stayed in control. We'll have to see if that's kind of something they're going to adapt to with only a few games left in the tank, but it's hard to say really, because we're back to the Esports Tower Classic. Well, is it really a best of 5?
Yeah, definitely. It seems they're always left to the best of 3, no matter how many games we start out with. Glad we haven't returned to attempting a best of 7 series, though, like we have in the past. It's probably for the best for the players. Now we have Gabo pushing the ball up. It's going to hit off the back wall inside Hammerhead territory. There's no falling from their teammate just yet. TY comes in a little bit too late. Flopsy's able to make a great shot. Gabo races back, gets the save at the last possible second.
Definitely a scary situation there. I even thought it was doomed, but it will work out for the Lynx. They're able to hold on a little bit longer. The Sweet Stuff pushing it downfield. Zur is in the way, however, and Gabog won't let it pass quite yet, looking for an opportunity to extend the lead. Potato pushing it past one. No one in the net right now. Maybe looks for a pass to Flurpsy or a flick. Doesn't get either of them. We'll just leave it for Gabog, who pushes it out now.
Zur takes a shot. It's going to be too low and easily predicted by the Sweet Stuff. Fortunately, though, the Sweet trying to bring it up to the midfield is immediately stopped by the Hammerheads. Potato take a few touches here. It looks for a give and go to Zers, but Zers unfortunately came forward a little bit too late. They're still able to push the ball into the corner and going off their own shots. They're going to be the follow-up. That puts the Hammerheads in the lead by 1. We're just crossing underneath that 2-minute mark.
Potato wins the 50-50 pass to Zer, has an opportunity, barely gets bumped and thrown offline. Isn't able to find the back of the net, plays it off the 50-50 in the corner. Will go in favor of Tie Dot. Flurpsy will push it past instead. We'll still be playing in the corner. After 20 seconds of being here, Flurpsy will finally push it out. But a big clear from the Lynx. Third man will make it, so they have to rotate completely all the way around. Flurpsy pushing it towards the wall, looks at the pinch, nope, can't get it, so instead he'll pass to Potato, who is up, does get the tap, almost a pinch between the two of them, trying to find the back of the net there, but it will not be straight on. Zeraz has to play a little bit further back and just slow down the play.
TD dunks the ball down. Flurpsy, though, off the ground, is going to pop it high, look to elevate. Can't get there high, get there fast enough, so Sweets is able to push it over to the side. Potato read it well, going to reset the play, played off the back wall. We're under 1 minute now. Hammerhead still in the lead by 1, but they want one extra goal here to make sure that there is no buzzer beater opportunity for the Lynx. Question is, can they do it?
Zeraz playing it towards the wall, stays up, doesn't make contact. Potato will take it instead. Tie Dot playing it towards the wall, but Flurpsy will beat him on the 50-50. Sweet Stuff has to go for the shot here. Goes high, and the pass will work out in favor of the Lynx now. Going to a 2-2 scoreline, 0-0 scoreline. with 35 seconds left on the clock. They're definitely edging to the overtime. I'm not quite sure who's more favored in overtime right now. Which team has had the most success in that do or die situation?
Pretty equal shots on goal as far as that goes, but the saves are, yeah, pretty equal there as well. So statistically speaking, no team is highly favored. I really think it's going to come down to who is willing to take the bet and risky play quickly if we go into overtime. We have 8 seconds left. Basically now at this point, ball's got to get popped up to stay in the air if either team is looking to score a goal and prevent that OT golden goal situation. But it is still basically golden goal right now.
All right. 2-2 scoreline, 0-0 scoreline, do or die time. This will be the third time today the Hammerheads and Lynx have gone to an overtime in 2 separate series. It's not clear who's going to reign in charge of all the roster swaps. Rotato's leading the way right now, trying to create an offensive mistake super early on, trying to get out. Flurpsy passes it mid. Sweets up, is able to push it out, tied out with the doink. Will push it down a little further. There goes for the 50-50 off the sidewall. Rotato's up, he gets the 50-50, but it spills out. Luckily, Flurpsy's in the way. He wins a 50-50 against 2 different players. Pushes downfield. Zare will just body his own teammate out of the way to get in control of the play. Takes the shot towards the back of the net. Does not make contact, however. Now both players have to rotate back as Rotato comes around to keep the play alive.
TY has a challenge in the air from Flurpsy. Neither one really went it out. Zeri is going to steal the ball away from Sweets. Gabo pops it up in front of their own net. A risky opportunity hit Sweets. Own goals it, but you know, that's just how it be. And with that, it's going to be the Hammerheads now in the lead for our series.
Again, we'll have to see if they can hold that lead, but yeah, that was a tragic ending to say the least. It was kind of a 5-man effort to find the back of the net against the Lynx there for a moment, but you know, it happens. Overtime is stressful, and these teams have played this amount of Rocket League today, but I actually don't, when I think about it, now that I said that, I don't know how much Rocket League this new Lynx roster has played today.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who we're going to see in this next game.
Probably 3 to 5 new players we haven't casted all today. If I had to guess, we've had a pretty consistent running with the last 2 series now of just, you know, kind of whatever ends up playing.
I don't know.
I'm hoping, praying that Protato remains as the one. Oh, right, okay. So we're at a 2v2 for game 4.
Protato, I appreciate you.
Yes, and we do have Protato. He did change his car, but that's okay.
That is fine. That is fine. You didn't change your name.
Acceptable terms.
We'll accept the car change, especially if you do that. Just keep doing that.
Yes. So we got Protato playing with Kailus, which we, at least I've never seen before. And then we've got, I don't know how to say, Montager 47
Mata.
and Blake Perriott for the Lynx.
I'm going with Mata.
Mata? Okay, yeah, that's good. Actually, that sounds clean. Kailus is up. Looks at the shot, ends up leaving it for Rotato. He flips out of the way. Look at that.
Yes.
The recognition from Kailus, like, oh, Rotato's got the shot. I gotta flip out of the way. He flips sideways and out of the way. Rotato finds the shot, and we're okay. We're good. Rotato comes in for the flying save. We'll go all the way across. Rotato now has to play it in the corner to find his way out.
Rotato's gonna send it to Kylos. Mata's going to manage to pop it up in front of their own goal and make the save, but that's a risky save spot. You want to push it off to the side. It's not right in front of your net because Potato easily capitalized on that redirect. And that puts the Hammerheads in the lead by 3 in 50 seconds. I can do math.
Yeah, and I believe that is the hat trick for Potato as well. He's been all over it. You can see actually 100% goal participation from both players on the Hammerheads.
That's ridiculous. Working
really well in tandem right now without committing too much of their boost and their space on the field.
Can we
for
get
these
the
offensive
math
plays.
Off of Kylios? If Kylios is a brand new player, I get that because this is a name I do not recognize, but we have recognized a lot of names today. But if Kylios is just another player from Esports who's changed their name, I'd really appreciate a mask removal at some point so I can know who in the Nuggets you are. But, oh well.
A dream-style face reveal, for sure.
Exactly.
Kylie's barely beat out there. Monta looking for the pass from his teammate, but doesn't have the angles. So really tapped out for a moment there. Potato able to force it out, looks for a play of his own. Probably solo play with how far off the wall that is. He does take the shot. I can't see it. Oh, I'm guessing it went in based off the angle we have now. Yep. Okay.
Someone got to go up and smoke before Potato.
Yeah, a fourth goal for Potato. No participation for Kylius in that one. That's okay. You'll take the lead for sure. At the end of the day, all you're trying to do is get some wins and get some learning in.
Ooh, Mata has no one to beat. They're going to push
Yep.
it forward. It's going to be goal number 1 for the Lynx. I mean, that happens. I think that's just the nature of 2v2.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly preventable, but you can't beat yourself up over it, especially when it's really easy to just find goals in 2v2 anyway. You can't be too worried about it overall. Mata looking to extend that lead. Backboard touch, a double commit from the Hammerheads will go unpunished. Kylios with the 50-50 will spill out to the other side. Pretty favorable for the Hammerheads overall. They have to take a weird angle shot. Both of them are up. Both of them are low on boost, so Potato will just hit it past him. He has all the space he needs. There's no way Mata's ever contesting that. Takes it all the way around, but doesn't have Kylios, so he will not be able to find the net in that specific situation.
Potato also lost all of their boost on that forward assault, so it made it very difficult, especially with Kylios being so hesitant towards their own goal. But, you don't want any more to go in and maintain the lead. Sometimes you just got to play it slow. Kylios now looking for an opportunity to push this ball to the midfield, ends up dropping it in mid-flight, allowing Mata to push it forward. Challenge from Potato, sends the ball to midfield stripe. Rotations need to come out quickly here from the Lynx. Kylios pushes the ball to midfield. He's going to sail past one, but it looks like Mata's going to be able to cut in just barely. Potato tries to make a saving play and ends up doing it just as I'm thinking they need to reset, and that's goal number 5 for the Hammerheads.
And goal number 5 for Potato, I might add. He's just he's everywhere. He's doing it all.
Okay, Potato, you make me recant my statement earlier that State is going to get my ICC Player of the Game recommendation.
Well,
now,
someone has to take Potato. Someone can take State. We can go both ways. And then the casters win no matter what, right?
But there's 3 we got to choose, so I'm going with State, Potato, and Cran, the only 3 people that have kept me grounded and sane throughout the course of this entire series, entire broadcast thus far. All 3 of you are getting my vote and getting my love today.
I totally forgot that Cran played today. That's how long it's been with these series. But yeah, Cran was a pop-off for sure earlier. Kylios taps it over to Mata. Takes a solo play off the wall. Not really going to do anything with it, though. It doesn't have enough pressure.
Potato.
Will get the beat, but Blake does have the time and is in the way. He does have space. He does end up just throwing away possession, so Kylios is just going to dribble it to his corner. He does get the beat around 1. Can't make another touch, however, so Blake will just take the shot. It is high and a little bit at wide as it's barely forced out. Kylios, I think, might have it. Nope, not quite. Perspective got a little bit choked off there for a second. Kylios now has to take it towards the wall and play a little defense. He has 1 to beat on the wall. He does not get the beat. Potato gets the barely tap out, forcing Blake to just leave it for a time being. And now Mata has to recreate the play altogether. Maybe a bump on Mata would be good, but Kylios does end up getting the touch anyway, so it works out.
Potato's going to elevate, push the ball forward. Kylios can cut this one in, but I don't think they have the right angle, and unfortunately they will lose on that opportunity. Potato trying to reset it back up. Double commit from the Lynx there. Ball at the mid. Potato elevates, dunks it down. I don't believe. Oh, Kylios goes for the challenge, whiffs it. Forces Mata to slow down just a little bit. Potato's going to snag the ball, go into the corner, center it up, but Kylios didn't rotate in fast enough. That's okay. Really great to see Potato making sure that they're facilitating their teammates, not just their own plays here. Really want to see Kylios score a goal for themselves. We've got 10 seconds left. If they can do it, that'd be pretty awesome, but it's okay if they can't. At the end of the day, the Hammers will still walk away with this victory. Let's see if the Lynx can get one. Mata is looking for it, but if the ball hits the ground now, that is it. Potato's not even giving it a chance. Leaves it, lets it die down. Hammerheads are the winners, which means they're going to go back up against the Barracudas. Who is on the Barracudas roster? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who's on anyone's roster at this point. I guess the only thing I know for sure is State is somewhere in there, and also there is Potato, who is always on the Hammerheads. As to who else is joining him, I don't know. It's up in the air. Whoever you want.
Well, if you want the opportunity seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you need to join the club. Esports star players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Okay, I know that our brains have been melting, but we still have one more thing to do. And that,
we just talked about it a little bit.
Yes, the ICCU player of the game. I've got my 3. I think we're in agreement on the 3 in total, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement on State and Potato. It's hard to remember all the players and which ones necessarily popped off. I think for that reason, I'm just going to go State, Potato, and Cran with you.
All right.
I think I'm with you on that one.
I've been writing notes. I take notes.
Yeah, if I had to write everyone's name down, I would just fill up this table at this point. But
yeah.
we'll have to see what our options are. I mean, you got to give us Protato. Yeah, there you go.
Right,
You
so we got
you
one
can't
right.
not do Protato.
One right so far. And let the record show, if you're new here, the ICCU player of the game, this whole portion, like, we give suggestions, and then production's like, well, here's the 3 we're going to let you actually pick from. And you might be right. All right,
Yep.
State? Okay, we're 2 for 2 right now. Are we going to get 3 for 3? Maybe. Last week we did absolutely horrible, and we're 0 for 3.
Yeah, definitely an interesting set of options from last week. But this week, we're back on top. We're starting strong with Protato and State. No surprises
Crayon?
there. Drippin.
Okay, all right. Drippin, one of our possibly new faces who was on the team, on the Wolves squad, we think, with State is going to be our 3rd one. So, 2 out of 3, it's a 66%. You're still passing, but
Yeah.
not credible towards your college degree. But with that being said, I'll take it. Who do you think it is, though?
It's got to be Protato. I'm sticking with Protato the whole way.
Yeah, I really got to
played
give
so
it
much
to
Rocket
Protato.
League today, and he, there were some coordination errors, to say the least, in the first series. But overall, I think he worked it out. And even in those coordination errors, they came out on top, and he was still a very oppressive and powerful player for that team. So I have to hand it to Protato for this week. The pop-off from him was unreal.
I'm agreeing 100% here with Taki. I mean, Protato, it was like a full leaps and bounds from the first game that we saw from you to the last game we saw from you for the evening. And, like, it could just be warming up, but definitely you weren't just trying to be the solo player. You were trying to facilitate your teammates as well. And so with that, we are in agreement with production, which doesn't happen all the time, okay? So this is a victorious moment for everyone involved. Protato is our ICCU player of the game this evening. The ICCU player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful. Just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success, Protato is the ICCU player of the game. Congratulations. And you can see there, Esports Tower, Rocket League, college bound. Really excited to see what the future holds for you, my friend, but hopefully we get to see you for a little bit longer. And, overall, today was pure chaos. That is all I have to say about it. For the opening, it just went downhill, chaos-wise.
All things considered, this would be the week to do chaos.
Yeah.
It's week 1. Let's give everyone and then some a chance to play a little bit. Let's have some fun, especially with these lower bracket runs, right? At the end of the day, everyone who comes to Esports Tower comes because they want to improve. So at the end of the day, it's not too imperative that we take everything so seriously. It's good to
especially after the stress of the summer series that we just had with them.
And school starting and all that in the last month or so. It's nice to take a break and just ease your way back into it, especially after the end of the summer series, as you just pointed out earlier.
Just know that you did drive the poor soul and human being Ray a little bit crazy and cuckoo. And if their brain breaks, these games aren't captured as beautifully as they are right now. So try your best not to make their life that difficult going forward. But with that being said, I want to give a congratulations to all of the teams. You guys did a fantastic job tonight. You really kept production on their toes. But next week, we'll head into our grand finals with the Barracudas going against the Hammerheads. The Hammerheads are looking for an opportunity to take down the team that sent them down into the second chance redemption bracket. Will they have their Zuko moment, or will the Barracudas actually maintain the title and go undefeated? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Join us next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out. We'll close out today with top 5 plays of the game presented to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering $20,000 in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. From all of us here at Boise State, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay hydrated.
Punish that mistake again. Protato passes it out mid to Endercrafter, barely blocked the last second by TRX. Ryjax begs downfield and responds. Protato has to play it slow, so he pushes it towards the wall. Endercrafter can cut off, but ends up leading it for John. Takes the begging shot towards the back of the net. Endercrafter takes the upper 9 shot, doesn't make contact. Protato instead will follow up.
Get this one out quickly. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. They're in a 2-goal lead, but that's hard to maintain for basically half of this game.
Johns almost bodies it through on a Doomsy dish. Endercrafter is up to try to find the pass. Rotato will take the shot. No, he will. He'll pass it off the backboard. Endercrafter will clean it up. Some good teamwork, a good
Slight double commit from the Hammerheads goes unpunished. Ball crossing midfield stripe. Matt and Rotato go for the 50-50. Neither one gets the better of that touch. Endercrafter racing in here in the corner, looking to corral it and get a goal scoring opportunity. Thwarted immediately by Matt, sending the ball to the mid with TRX rushing forward, popping up over one. It's an open goal. Top left corner. Tries to pop it up, but he's challenged by TRX. Matt goes for the shot on goal. It's too wide. Rotato now going forward. There was a huge rotation push there by the Lynx. Could be capitalized on here now by the Hammerheads, but Matt has rotated into the back post, as has TRX and Ray. So they're piling up in the goal. All three members is not enough.
We've got, I don't know how to say, Montager 47
Mata.
and Blake Perriott. For the Lynx.
Mata.
Mata? Okay, yeah, that's good actually. That sounds clean. Kylos is up. Looks at the shot, ends up leaving it for Rotato. He flips out of the way. Look at that.
Yes.
The